All right, let's go ahead and take a look here and see what kind of advice I can give you to improve your dot plots. So my first thing would be to have the same scales for both of your dot plots. So for example, it looks like for this one, I need to get a pretty big range. I need to get all the way up to 22 and as low as 14. Even though these values for chock full are not as wide, I still want to use the same scale. So for example, I might say, well, let's do chock full here. And let's do all chock over here. For all chock, we know it needs to go as low as 14 and as high as 22. So maybe I'll count by twos to get there. 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. I went a little over, that's okay. I want to use the same exact scale for this one, even though the numbers are not as big. Otherwise, it's going to make the data look a lot more spread out than it might otherwise be. Let me show you an example. So here, you can see I've plotted, both of these are for all chock, the lower one right here. And we can see it looks like they're not as spread out in this one compared to this one, but that's because I counted by a different number. I went 0, 10, 20. It looks like they're really smudged up, but we can see here if we count by twos, they're going to be really spread out. And so that makes a difference how our data looks. And if I include chock full with this, it starts to change the way we interpret the data. So if I include chock full, it would end up looking like this. I'll show it in red here. It might be, actually I'll do X's so you can see. I can see there's 1 17, all of those 18s, and a 19. I can see how they compare to one another. It's obvious the one is wider, right? Same idea here. If I do, there's an 18 like this, it looks like this is crazy more variable compared to this. So we have to be careful. We have to make sure we have the same scales. Now we can actually see the shape differences. For chock full, I can see 17, 18, 18, 18, and a single 19. And for all chock, I can see 22, 15, I know 14, I know 21, I know 18. With the same scales, I can more easily compare them and describe them, okay? The other thing is sometimes you have labels up here, not values. So for example, cookie, this is telling us these two things are types of cookie. So we have cookie number 1 had 17 and 22 chocolate chips. Cookie number 2 had 19 and 15 chocolate chips. It's not telling you this is 1 chocolate chip, 2 chocolate chips, 3 chocolate chips. These are labels. Everything outside of this area are just labels helping us to organize our data. It says nothing about the number of chocolate chips in those cookies. So use this to help you think about how you need to improve your dot plot and what needs to change.